What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, joined as always by Michael Hurley. We are a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. The show is brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Michael,
Doug,
how are you doing?
Good. Today is February 3rd, and leave it to me, it hit me while the theme song was playing. Important day in Patriots history. The date of Super Bowl 36, the date of Super Bowl 42, and the date of Super Bowl 53. So
Wow.
the Tom Brady dynasty, or eras, plural, started midpoint, bookend, February 3rd. I should fact check myself, but I think that's right. And I said it, so it's too late. No, I'm right. I nailed it. Crushed it.
Super Bowls used to be earlier. This one is late.
They went ahead and added another game to the season. It really threw things off. But you're at the Super Bowl. Do you want to start with Super Bowl stuff and all that, or do you want to start with the craft stuff?
So people got a little bit mad when we did 30 minutes on Hall of Fame talk when Bill Belichick got snubbed. So let's start off with some Super Bowl stuff. We'll get to craft stuff.
Can I just promise the people that didn't like it, like, I'll give you a tight 60 seconds on it, like
sure, let's bang it out. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I just think, obviously Robert Kraft came out this morning that he's not in the Hall of Fame. I feel like irreparable damage has been done to the Hall of Fame in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, it's been laid bare, the pettiness and silliness and absurdity of it all. And it's like, if you want to make the case that owners don't belong in the Hall of Fame, too bad, they are.
Right.
And
it's too late. Hey, you know what? The damage has been done, my friend.
The damage has been done, my friend. There's tons of owners in there. And by any measure of the standard, Kraft clears it, doubly in some cases. Like Pat Bowlen is in the Super Bowl is in the Hall of Fame. His team won 3 Super Bowls. Al Davis is in there with 3 Super Bowls. Ed DeBartolo is in there he had 5. That's a lot. Jerry Jones with 3.
3, yeah.
Ralph Wilson did win a couple AFL championships, no Super Bowls. It's like Kraft has 6 Super Bowls, potentially 7. And then you throw in solving the lockout, theoretically. You throw in the TV deals, the riches made. You throw in that he's basically saved an important region of the country from leaving the Massachusetts area.
And I already said how important playoff runs are for the New England area when it's 0 degrees and there's nothing to do. So
great point. And I just think you take that all together and I don't know if you want to argue morality and whatever else, that sort of is irrelevant to the task at hand, which is gauging a Hall of Fame player. So I don't know. This is his 14th year of eligibility. It feels like they're being a little cruel at this point, and I just think it's really over the top. And the Hall of Fame and their voters, mostly their voters, continue to look worse.
Well, I had a pretty good idea that this was going to happen when Bill Belichick didn't get in. If Bill Belichick can't get in this year, then what are the chances for Robert Kraft? And there's a pretty large part of me that feels a little bit ridiculous, being like, won't someone please feel bad for the billionaire? Right. And even as someone who covers the team, to be literally pounding the table right now for the owner of the team. But I saw some tweets being like, owners shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. The damage has been done, my friend. They're already in there.
Yeah.
So if other owners are going to be in there, then Robert Kraft has to be in there. And it shouldn't take him 15 years or whatever it's going to be for him to get in. And it does feel like pettiness. And I tweeted this. Don't want to hear about the system anymore. Don't want to hear about how, the voters have to do this, this, and this. It does not matter at this point, because if you can't vote for the guys who deserve it, then the system's not broken. The brains are broken. And I feel like there's too many broken brains in the Pro Football Hall of Fame committee if they're not just saying, yes, Bill Belichick, yes, Robert Kraft, and sure, we'll throw one senior candidate a bone, which, once again, I do not feel is necessary. I don't feel that bad for Ken Anderson, L.C. Greenwood, and Roger Craig. I don't think if they haven't made the Hall of Fame already, it's that much of a crying shame that they're not going to get in this year. But one of them will, and Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft will not, and that is slightly ridiculous.
And just go back a year. Pat's Chat podcast, we were all over. Ralph Hay got in over Robert Kraft.
Someone sent me an email.
Ralph
Hay is not in the Hall of Fame.
He got in over Kraft last year.
No, he became a finalist over Kraft.
Oh, so he didn't get in?
No.
Ralph, our guy, Ralph, after all that.
Shout out to the guy who emailed me. He was like, I couldn't find Michael Hurley's email, but he was wrong. Ralph Hay is not a Pro Football Hall of Famer. and I can confirm Ralph Hay not in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
Kraft, no, not in the Hall of Fame either.
That now we have another travesty on our hands. We have Belichick, we have
Why
Kraft, and we have
can't
Hay.
Ralph Hay get in the Hall of Fame?
It's been 100 years since he held a meeting in his car dealership. But, I just think it's just a black eye. And, Tony Dungy did availability because NBC people were available and did the can't talk about it. Can't talk. And it's like, it's only Tuesday. It's going to keep going. It's going to get worse. They're going to announce this class and everyone's going to be like, all right, well, you're missing something. It almost feels like there should be a break glass in case of emergency option for the Hall of Fame to save face because it's ugly. I think it does I don't think it gives the players any more motivation, but I think it's going to make fans a little bit more riled up going into this Super Bowl where it's like, there's been no New England versus everyone mentality really, but I think it's picked up a little, with the way the national media ignored them. And now I think this helps at least add some juice in that regard. But I just think overall, how do you think highly of the Hall of Fame process anymore? It's just
I mean, like you said, I think that it has damaged the Pro Football Hall of Fame in general because now, like, no one thinks that much of the Pro Football Hall of Fame just in general, like in their regular everyday lives. You're not just constantly thinking of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Oh my God, I have to get to Canton, Ohio. But now people are thinking about it, and they're thinking about it in a negative respect. And it's because of the voters, and it's because of the system, it's because of the process, but mostly it's because of the voters who can't just get out of their own way and figure this out and put people in who deserve it. So we've been talking about this for a while. I think we can move on. But
well, I just to throw something for the future Pats chat, save this for maybe induction time. Maybe we could do a what's better debate, Hall of Fame bust in Canton or a Hall of Fame plaque in Cooperstown, just physically. Which one's cooler? Save that. Start thinking about it. Start building your argument because those busts are pretty sweet. You can't deny that.
That is true. Okay, Super Bowl week. I went to opening night last night. It was kind of a shit show. I'm not going to lie. It was held in a convention center auditorium.
Looked really sterile.
It lacked all juice, lacked all aura. It was very sterile. Usually there's fans in the crowd, which honestly as a media member is like kind of annoying because there's a lot of noise and everything, but at least it feels like an event. This didn't really feel like an event. This just felt like it existed for no purpose whatsoever. I don't know if you tuned into it. It's a hard event to cover. You can't really find anyone. There's a line for like, name the most obscure Patriots player that you can think of right now.
I would say Julian Ashby.
Julian Ashby constantly was talking to someone.
Really?
Constantly. Yes. Huh. Mekhi Butler. Do you know who Mekhi Butler is?
I know Mekhi Pfeiffer.
Mekhi Butler constantly was talking to someone. So you had to wait in some sort of queue. I felt like I was in Disney World for any player that you wanted to talk to. Everyone was talking to someone.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just.
And then you're like, listen, no one wants to hear about Doug Kyed,
Shut up. I do. Tell me about it. Sit down.
Like just blithering on and complaining, but I don't know. It was what it was. And then today's media availability was held inside a tent that was next to the Santa Clara Marriott.
So weird.
Also lacked a little bit of juice, but it was fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wrong yesterday. I said it used to be held in the stadium, and then they started doing like it has been in the stadium in recent years. It was in Vegas.
It was in the Superdome last year.
Yeah, and it's just such a better event. I've seen tweets. I forget who it was. Some reporter was like, "This was last year. This was the year before," and it's just like the lights and the sounds and this was.
I don't understand either because there are many arenas.
Like the Sharks place would be if you have to do it in San Jose.
Cool? Do you know what? I should be on the Super Bowl committee. Do you know where I would have held it?
Where?
I'll give you a hint. It's on your hat. I would have held it at the Oakland Coliseum.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
How sick would that have been?
There might be some health dangers. I did wear the Oakland hat today.
I don't care if there's a coyote running around. I can avoid it.
That's true, but I don't know. There might be some crumbling cement on top of you. What?
This is a Pat's Chat exclusive. As of last Tuesday, there was a mountain lion running through the streets of San Francisco. Imagine if a mountain lion was terrorizing the Super Bowl this week.
That'd be a big story. That
would have been a big story.
I remember when the Olympics were in Sochi.
Yeah.
There was, I think Jimmy Kimmel did like a prank where it was like, because everything was a mess, like a disaster. And like, there's a mountain lion in the dorms for the athletes, but it was a prank. but it got on the news.
This was not a prank. It truly, there was a mountain lion in Pacific Heights in San Francisco. Apparently, there is a lot of coyotes around here anyway. I haven't seen any crazy animals.
We're doing
cats and
chat.
dogs. We're doing cats chat. We're doing.
I wore the Oakland hat yesterday with the Super Bowl hat. We're going to have to stop podcasting because I'm out of themed hats. So I'm not sure what's going to be next. But watching on TV, well, first of all, I want to get into the TV broadcast, but the little stage they built for them to come up on was just so pathetic. Like it was
shallow. Yeah, it was low
budget. It was like if you went to a, I don't know, 7-year-old dance competition.
Yeah.
It just was really.
You know what was funny about it? People were holding their phones so high. Like it was so low that if someone just held their phone up, it blocked the entire view. So you had to be in the front row to actually get a shot of it. Yeah,
just really poorly done. And I think ultimately people would be like, well, who cares as long as like the event. If you were you don't know this, watching, I put it on because I'm like, let me see what they're going to say.
Yeah.
You might have seen in the hour the Patriots talked, 5 minutes of players and coaches talking. Wow. You got about 2 minutes of Drake May, a minute and a half of Vrabel, a minute of Diggs, and in between they would just go to the studio where it was the host who's like always on there, who I can't think of right now, Maurice Jones-Drew and Michael Robinson, just doing like random debates and arguments and analysis. Michael Robinson's like holding his Seahawks ring on the camera. They don't know anything about the Patriots, just has sort of been the theme of this playoff run. And it's like, this sucks. Like this supposed to be like, they make it prime time. So it's a TV event, but then they don't show it to you. Mm-hmm. It was baffling. It was just as poorly a done thing. And I know maybe people don't care, but in terms of players talking this week, that's usually when fans actually watch and tune in.
Right.
And they weren't showing it. It was so bad.
That's really strange. That's really, really bizarre. But I don't know. It wasn't that much different being there. Drake May, shoulder, seems fine. That was probably the big news out of the event. Trying to think of any other like major news. I wrote up a post that was basically just like what we learned about Drake May afterwards. I don't know. Yeah. Did you feel like there was anything crazy that came out of media night?
Not really. I know someone was going around. It might have been the Bussin' with the Boys people asking if Mike Vrabel should be cutting his appendage off.
Oh, yeah.
That was about as silly as it seemed to get.
Right.
Guillermo
was just telling people to say they hate Matt Damon. I don't know if anyone did it.
That's a really funny gig. One person was doing like rapid fire, like tacos or pizza. And it's like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, man. What are they going to say?
Yeah.
What
would you say? Tacos or pizza?
It's really tough, Doug. You know, that makes it a great question. You know, it's too hard to answer. But I mean,
I'm going pizza.
It's pizza. Like I can't live without pizza. I'm sorry. Yeah. But we just fell victim to it. But yeah, no, it was.
That was actually me doing that. I'm kidding. It wasn't.
Wow. The Herald is fallen. No, it was, I wish I could weigh in with stuff I saw, but I didn't see enough. Drake May's shoulder. The Patriots did interestingly post a video from practice yesterday at Stanford Stadium, and then very quickly deleted it and then posted a new one. And I didn't really watch it that closely. I wonder what was different from the original post to the delete post. Like what was the hidden thing that they revealed in that? Because it was sort of a quick hit. Here's Booty catching a ball. Here's Marcus Jones catching a ball. Here's Drake May and I wonder what was shown in there that
interesting. Maybe there was just like a slight hitch in the shoulder or something.
Maybe it had like Efton Chisholm throwing another pass. I don't know. I missed it. But maybe there was just a technical malfunction. They had to fix it. I don't know. But maybe we'll find out. We get practice reports starting tomorrow.
We get practice reports starting tomorrow. The pool reports. We don't get to go to practice, but there's a pool report, so that will be posted. I had been waiting all season to ask Mike Smith, the Patriots outside linebackers coach, the backstory behind Wes Welker's foot comments about Rex Ryan. You can read the whole story on the Boston Herald, but just a short Cliff Notes version, Rex Ryan basically dared Wes Welker to do that. And he was like, you won't do it. You're too scared of Belichick. Wes Welker did it, and Rex Ryan thought it was hilarious. I think a lot of people at the time were like, oh, wow, that was a shot at Rex Ryan, blah, blah, blah. They were just being goofy guys having a fun time. And then Bill Belichick benched Wes Welker for it. And then they lost the playoff game. Yeah.
I have a question for you about that because I read your story because you were very excited about it. Not to say I don't read all your stories.
Yeah, but that one I was excited about.
I could tell you're excited about it. So I'm like, let me give this a read. And so this guy, Mike Smith.
Yeah.
Rex Ryan and a third person,
Mike Pettin.
Mike Pettin, the defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
were game planning, and they would call Wesley Welker on speakerphone.
They would just prank him. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Do you think that happens? Do you think?
I think it's probably unique to like a silly guy like Rex Ryan, you know?
Yeah, like picture any hard-ass NFL head coach
Right.
calling the other team's receiver and be like, "Hey, we're game planning against you. What should we do?" That's one of the crazier things I've ever heard.
It is funny. I guess like I could almost imagine Vrabel doing something like that.
Well, even like this was preseason, so it maybe is not the norm. But remember Belichick going up to Ocho Cinco and being like, "We're doubling you. You know, one double 85."
Yep.
But that was preseason.
Right. It wasn't a playoff game.
I've got to imagine Bill wasn't doing that before anything of any substance.
Right.
And now Bill's like probably the way we use Brady as a May comparison. We shouldn't use Belichick as a comparison to anyone, but like I don't know. That is.
Do you understand? Like I don't know if I really fully process why Belichick was so mad about it.
I guess because it's like the rules were just he hated Wes Welker at that point, so that was probably a factor. He was sick of he grew sick of all of Brady's favorite targets eventually, except for Edelman. You know, Gronk got sick of him. Amendola got sick of him. So
and Edelman just kind of like took it better than everyone else. I feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like Edelman never signed a massive contract with the Patriots. So
I agree.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Tom Brady? The fact that he's not rooting for the Patriots?
Yeah, I just got sent something about him. I'll have to.
What's about Ralph Hay?
No, he said something on Cowherd's show about Super Bowl practice. So maybe we're missing out on that.
Wait,
but Brady,
who said what?
Brady was talking about. I'll have to check it after. I need to vet the stories before they hit the Pats chat. So Tom Brady said, "I don't have a dog in the fight. May the best team win." Code language, may the best team win. And I don't know how surprising that should be. I'm sure to some fans it's like, what? But I'm sure to most it can't be surprising at all. For one, he's a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
For two, he's the national #1 broadcaster on Fox. So let's say, I don't know when Fox has their next Super Bowl, next probably 3 years later because they just had it. And the Patriots are in there. It's like, oh, are you rooting for the Patriots again? Like you have to have some sort of public display of objectivity. But then see, like, you lost Tom Brady in 2019. He left. He left. You ended it. And so you moved on. So he moved on.
If this was a Cowboys Broncos game being broadcast on Fox, and Troy Aikman was asked, like, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? If he said the Cowboys, would you be like, whoa, that is crazy? Why would you ever say that? You're involved with the Dolphins. You're a broadcaster. Use your journalistic integrity. Or would you be like, yeah, no, duh.
I think that's a great example, though, because like I don't think Troy Aikman roots for the Cowboys. When I watch him call Cowboys games, I never get the impression that he's pulling for them. I just think.
No, I mean, I guess that does throw into like when Brady does eventually start broadcasting Patriots games, you can't be like, oh, he's cheering for the Patriots. I don't know.
And he owns the Raiders. I just feel Tom Brady, you know this, is probably the best we've ever seen in the world at speaking without saying anything.
Right.
So like sort of this like humanoid, vapid, emotionless persona is easy for him to just step into. Like I think he has human emotions, right?
Yeah.
Probably. But I think when it comes to public Tom, like he is very easy to step in. When it comes to those human emotions, I've got my colored pencil out. That's how I know I'm serious. When it comes to the human emotions, I bet he's rooting against the Patriots.
Interesting.
Just because, not that he's small or petty or anything, but because he's truly the most psycho competitor I've ever seen. I bet if Drake May goes out and throws for 500 yards and wins the MVP, Tom Brady's going to start training to play again. Like that's what is going on in that brain of his. I wouldn't be surprised if he's rooting against them.
Like Robert Kraft, he's like a fourth son, fifth son. I forgot how many sons Robert Kraft.
And he got kicked to the curb.
I think he's probably still friendly with Mike Vrabel, right?
A little, probably way more with Josh.
He's friends with Josh McDaniels. So, and The thing we haven't mentioned yet, though, too, is that the Seahawks offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, is going to be the Raiders head coach.
Right.
So sure, that throws a little bit of a wrench in things a little bit, but still, I don't know. I feel like he could have handled it a little bit better and differently.
Maybe. I don't know that there's a right answer. Like, so you think you should have answered it? I don't know if
I think
the right answer.
Like, I think you know who I'm sure who I'd be pulling for in this one, Jim, or something. You know?
Yeah. You know what? They lost it. Like you didn't. You chose Bill Belichick over him. He moved on.
Yeah.
And it's like you lose him. And I think they've had chances to maybe offer him a minority stake in the franchise, which I would have done because it's good. This is a good example of that, actually. I've always argued it's really good business if you can stay associated with the greatest football player of all time.
Right.
If you can have him in and around your business during lean years like last one. Like it's good to have Tom Brady around, but you don't get that. You had a chance to maybe make up for the mistake in 2019. Tom Brady's gone. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
It is very true. So as someone who's an outside observer, is there anything else like buzz-wise that you believe is dominating the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Do you find that strange?
Well, I think it's largely, I don't want to say anonymous. That's too strong. But it's not exactly Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. There's no Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, like nationally speaking. So maybe people are a little less around the country locked in or excited. There's no Taylor Swift. There's no all this stuff. Maybe that's factoring in. I don't know if it's just early in the week. Like, it's still only Tuesday.
I know. Yeah.
There's no like prolific trash talker starting stuff in the media. There's no like, I've seen clips of Mac Hollins talking last night. He seemed
he wouldn't talk about football.
That makes sense. He was just being goofy, but like nothing like provocative.
Right.
I don't like. There's been nothing to really. There's no Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Right.
So that's probably a big factor. I think everyone's like, at this point, I think we're mostly past the shoulder thing too with Drake May. Like he kind of put that to bed.
Yeah, I feel like that was a fun storyline, or maybe not so fun storyline for a while, but I think it's kind of moved on to Robert Spillane and Harold Landry. Do those guys play? How effective are they if they play?
Did you analyze their gate last night?
I did not. Did you?
No, I didn't see them. I was not allowed to see them.
Podiums.
So they had to climb up. Well, they were pretty low, probably.
They were pretty low, yeah.
Damn.
But
just like to go back to Super Bowl media night, like Scott Hansen's supposed to host it in the damn room with the stuff all going behind him. There's supposed to be a desk of like Rappaport and Judy Batista and all that. I dropped my pencil in the room, like in the arena. My bad. And then like, they would have Willie McGinnis or Deion Sanders or whoever climb up on stage, interview Tom Brady, interviews, like get stuff. There was none of that. It was just like remote cameras.
They missed Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders used to do that.
Yeah, Deion, Willie.
Climb on the podium.
Yeah. It's just, and like the studio was in Los Angeles, and it's just it was just junk. So no, I don't know how they walked. I don't know much of what happened last night.
I will say, once again, no one wants to hear media members complaining. I think they just needed to have the Super Bowl in San Jose or Santa Clara. Like the San Francisco thing doesn't really work. It's too far. It's really far.
But they're at a hotel that can't handle interviews, so they have to build a tent in the parking lot.
Right.
Maybe that area is not built to handle the media throng, such as it is, whereas San Francisco can handle it better.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the fact that I'm staying in San Francisco. There's more to do there than San Jose or Santa Clara, but it does just feel a little bit silly that we are so far away.
Yeah.
But we've got the media party tonight. That's at the EA Sports campus.
Say that again. Where is it?
EA Sports. It's at the game campus.
I didn't realize that was. I guess it's tech. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're frozen, but you look. Now you don't. You look so serious, frozen, like such a professional newsman. Now you don't. I'm sorry.
I'm in HD quality again. Am I in the Hest of Ds?
You're traveling through the cyber world there. Pretty. It's like Ralph breaks the internet. Ralph has broken the internet.
I was thinking that it was funny that I don't know that I was not the one who would have issues with the internet now, but maybe I am. Joe Milton, you were watching a Joe Milton clip before we came on. What'd you think of that?
So I think I'm vindicated. No one cares. I mean, I'm not the story here, but Joe Milton going on EEI and just talking about how good he is and how good he was in practice because he threw a touchdown over Christian Gonzalez in practice to an unnamed scout team receiver. Like he didn't care to name who caught it. I think the Joe Milton ego was on display in that interview. And I remember when he got traded, we might have talked about this recently. There was this local sort of sports media narrative like Drake May can't handle a good backup. Drake May's fragile ego got this quarterback traded. And my takeaway was, first of all, Drake May doesn't make trades. And second of all, what if Joe Milton on his own was a problem that they identified as something they wanted to excise from the roster? I think I was right because to go out and be like, yeah, I rule, I'm better than Jacoby Brissett, suck it, is a weird thing for a backup quarterback in the NFL to be doing.
Yeah, he thought that once Jacoby Brissett lost his starting job, he should move up to the number 2 spot, and that Jacoby Brissett should be the number 3. And that's just not really the way things work in the NFL. Even if you are throwing deep bombs over Christian Gonzalez and then turning around and staring down Gerard Mayo and Elliott Wolf, which I don't know. If I were Elliott Wolf, I'd be like, that was a little weird. I don't know if we need this in our building. And I don't want this to become like a Joe Milton. I don't know. What was the spat chat?
Yeah.
I don't know if there was any sort of spat with Joe Milton, but
well,
like when you have a franchise quarterback like Drake May, you don't need someone in the building who's obviously feels as highly about themselves as he did. And like, if he thinks he was better than Drake May, then I think that's just a problem and it creates problems. So I never had a problem with them trading Joe Milton.
Yeah.
And I have less of a problem today than I ever have before.
I don't know that he went so far as to say he was better than Drake May. Just that when May moved up, he should have moved up. Like you said, you were rough internet there, but you've made it through. You've come through the other side. But I want to be consistent. Like I've always said, for athletes to make the NFL, you kind of have to be a little delusional. Like you have to think you're the best that's ever done it. Even if you are even if you're the worst player in the NFL, you're still a better athlete than 99.9% of the world.
Right.
So like when people have that sort of slightly distorted reality, it's like, it's really what's the difference between someone who can be a backup and useful in that role versus someone who aspires to be a starter. It's like why someone like Brian Hoyer was employed for so long. It's why a lot of guys
Dobbs works out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's more than just knowing your role. It's knowing that you are capable, but that's the role that's the lot you've gained in life.
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I had one more thing that I forgot. You asked if I had any leftovers from media night. Drake May being asked which quarterback he idolized growing up.
Oh yeah.
Saying Aaron Rodgers instead of Cam Newton. That one like kind of hurts. I know he did idolize Aaron Rodgers.
For the Jets game too. Yeah. I
know the way he holds his pinky, but I'm just saying that's such a layup for a Carolina kid.
Right.
Who clearly was a Panthers fan when Cam Newton was the MVP of the league, like clearly has a somewhat similar game in terms of running, at least. That one kind of hurt.
So I don't know if you saw this too, but Joe Milton on Cam Newton calling the Patriots fool's gold. I haven't listened to the clip yet, but Joe Milton said on WEI, I don't listen to nothing Cam says. So Drake May, not the only quarterback who, I don't know, or not the only quarterback that Cam Newton might have a problem with. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird situation.
Well, look at us, Doug. We're not in the meetings. We don't know the plays. We don't know what's being called. We don't know the game plans, all that. But we know when Cam Newton talks, he's talking out of his ass. So imagine being a professional quarterback and hearing anything. You're just like, man, that guy played. He should know better.
Yeah. No, 100%. But he's decided to be the next Stephen A. Smith, but not as studied, not as eloquent, maybe. Yeah.
There's only one Stephen A. I did catch something today that you probably didn't because you were busy working. John Stryker was on the Sports Hub.
Wow.
they did an interview last night, and it was like a nice long interview. It was very interesting. He was very open. He's not, we think of that role as like secretive, like sort of like Ernie Adams, like, what does he do?
Yeah.
He was just a normal guy who
Yeah.
loves ball. But what I found most
He's
interesting,
a really nice guy. Say hi to
Yeah.
him whenever I see him. Yeah.
yeah. So
Says hi to me. Says, hey, Doug. Pats me on the back.
nice.
Yeah.
That's Pat chat.
That's Pat chat.
Pat on the back chat. I made myself laugh, and now I'm embarrassed. But he was asked about the replay process. I don't know if this has been like written about and detailed.
Yeah.
But he said, it was new to me, so I'll share it. He said, so like a play happens, and 30 seconds is not a long time to decide, challenge, whatever.
True.
He says they have access to the Hawkeye, I think it's called, like the same thing that the replay official is looking at.
Oh.
They're able to see. So like play ends and they can pull all these, like they can't control it, but they're looking at, I guess, the same thing that the replay official will be looking at. And,
I think I'd always assumed that they would have to just kind of look at TV copy.
Right, but if you think about it, the replay, sometimes they're already lined up by the time you see
it.
I knew they had to have something, but I didn't know how it worked. So I just thought
stressful.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a high intensity, high stress moment
So
where you can
every
decide.
play they just get to see replays after replays after replays of it.
I would guess, say there's like a toe tap on the sideline, right? Whoever's operating that Hawkeye, if that's what it's called, it's like let me see this. And because they have to, like, if they have to replay assist, they've got to decide that pretty quickly. It's just and it helps explain sort of why we kind of knew this, like when replay assist is wrong,
right?
Because they're kind of in the same boat,
right?
But I would say if it's that close, they should make teams challenge. But anyways, I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is very interesting. So we've got 2 more days of availability. Those are at 8 a.m. on Wednesday and Thursday. And then it's Friday, Saturday, then the game's on Sunday. I did not totally realize in the past that the players just have today off. Like it's a normal Tuesday for them. That feels kind of wild, but
I don't always practice Monday. That was
true.
Sort of the extra practice.
Right.
Which makes sense. I think when you get off the plane and you're adapting to the time zone change, you probably want to get physical.
But no, just like immediately having a day off on Tuesday, because like the guys who talked were obligated to do so, but it was like an extra responsibility for them while all their teammates were just kind of like going out in Santa Clara.
Yeah. I have 2 questions for you. First one, did anything come from that morning media session? Because I didn't see a damn thing from the tent.
So here's the issue. Not a lot of high-profile players talking. You had Keyshawn Boutte, Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, Jalen Hawkins, Caleb Von Chason, Trevion Henderson, Craig Woodson, Jalen Hawkins. That might have been it. So, like, you didn't have your Drake Mays. You didn't have your, I don't know, who else? Stephon Diggs. Vrabel talked. Vrabel didn't say anything too crazy. So, yeah, overall, honestly, not a whole lot. We didn't need a lot for our content plan, which was good. But, yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.
You wrote a story I saw today. I don't know if it ran today or yesterday, so my apologies. 1 thought on every player.
Yes.
Numerically going through the roster, 0 to 97.
Yep.
And I was reading it, and I was wondering at what number you realized or thought, man, I wish I didn't think of this idea, because I'm guessing it was somewhere around 42. Is that Ashby? This is the Ashby pod, Ash chat.
Ashby was 47.
Yeah, I feel like by then you must have been like, I'm tapped out and I'm halfway done.
I did that straight. I did that consecutively. I did not take a break. I did it on the flight over here, if we're being transparent about it. So that one was pre-planned. I would say I didn't regret it, because otherwise I was watching like Lord of the Rings at the time. So I don't know. That's a movie that you can just kind of like have on and write 55 thoughts on players. But that was my own doing. I thought of that myself. It was about 2,000 words. You can't really do that in less than 2,000 words. But I think it was more of like a proof to myself that I can have a thought on 55 guys.
Yeah, I mean,
55 burgers, 55 tacos, 55 fives, 55
I think it was
Patriots.
Like Kobe Minor. You were like, probably will be inactive. And I was like,
yeah,
maybe was at 23. Maybe that's when.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Number 19. Yeah, probably going to be inactive. Yeah.
So you're going to the media party tonight. I would say this is let's peel the curtain back again
Sure.
for the people that want to know. The media parties rock. You know,
They're good. Yeah, they're fun.
Very critical of media night last night. I'm trying to think. I think the best one ever was Atlanta at the aquarium.
Sweet, yeah.
That was incredible. That was like a
Natural History Museum in Houston was cool.
I missed that one. I think I had to work or something.
Minnesota was
the amusement park. That was incredible. I rode
in the middle of the Mall of America.
So it was like open bar. So I had a couple beers and I rode the SpongeBob coaster.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Like that's similar if you're a Canopy Lake fan, like the bear one. I forget what they call it. I could probably think of it. But the drop is actually like steeper.
90, it's like 90 degrees.
Or like 87 degrees. It's like steeper than straight down.
Yeah.
And then you do all these flips. Zolak was in the back, just like F-bombing the whole time. And some lady next to me at the end goes, "Are you okay, sir?" Everyone was like, "Don't worry about him." That was a good one. I don't think I went to Phoenix.
I didn't go to Phoenix. I thought it was too cool for it. And then I quickly learned in Houston that I'm not, that they're fun. Yeah.
What am I missing? There's one in between. Houston. Yeah. But Atlanta, that aquarium, I talk about like a little boy. I'm like,
yeah, it was cool.
You walk through the tank, then there's like a whale.
And there's food. It's fun.
That was like a wedding. That was sick.
Yeah.
Well, so that's fun. I need like details on how this turns out. The EA Sports Party.
I'm doing a running diary on the Boston Herald about each one of my days. Because of deadlines, that one will not be making the running diary for tomorrow, but it will make the running diary for Thursday.
Right.
So I'll regale everyone with the details, and maybe we could even do a podcast tomorrow all about the media party.
Probably not. Hopefully something develops and we have a little bit more. But you know what, Doug? I think we nailed it.
I think we nailed it too. I think we did a good job. I think this is our pod for the day.
This is Pat in the back chat. I think we did a really good job on this podcast.
Yeah, I think that joke alone really carried the podcast. But we will talk to you guys again, possibly tomorrow, possibly later in the week, but we'll certainly be doing more podcasts about the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl. And yeah, until then, this has been Pat Chat.
We might have forgotten something to do that we usually do in the middle of our podcast.
Yes, I actually said it right off the top.
You did.
This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, and then you can download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. And yeah, thank God I did say right off the bat that this podcast is brought to you by PrizePicks. We're doing extra pods this week, though. So,
and to be fair, we do it in like the 37-minute mark usually.
Yeah, and I do think it's important to note to everyone that Drake May, if you go on PrizePicks, all the more or less is it's 0.5 yards. So he only has to throw 1 yard for you to hit on that prize pick, which is huge. That's really huge. So, yeah, absolutely. Go to PrizePicks, download the app. Code CLNS, $50 in lineups first 5. Yeah,
he's going to get that half yard unless
I guarantee him.
Unless the Seahawks go heavy with the cover 6. That's the word on. That was the big buzz on Twitter. The Everything app today was Warren Sharp saying cover 6 going to shut him down. It's like, hey, all right, I bet this hits the strategy at some point.
We're in the safety zone right now, right?
Sort of.
Okay. The first time I ever saw Warren Sharp's face, we're in the safety zone here, okay? I thought it was Tom Curran in disguise.
Tom Incognito Curran?
I thought it was Tom Curran in a fake mustache.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at it next time.
I never made that connection, but now that's all I'm going to look for.
Yep.
That's a great way to end the pod.
It is a great way. I'll see you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.